Hey gang, welcome back. After a fumbling, stumbling start, we will hopefully be a little more succinct and clear this time. It's June 334 BC. We're looking at the fate of all, and it's been a very interesting turn. The Persians in their turn had made a opportunity movement and intercepted. We did some die rolling to see if they would intercept. Just kind of generate some random activity where because I'm playing solo, etc. And there were two columns that were going to move up in this direction here, and so we rolled for them. And Memnon, who moved from here, ended up attacking Alexander. So we put that on the battle map, fought that out. I think I've got a video out on that. I really don't remember. It's been a crazy week this week. I know I wrote up some notes on the battles, etc., so you can find them on the blog as well if you read the blog. Anyway, so that happened. He lost, retreated back to the city here, which happens to be the capital of the region. I think this is Lydia. No, this is Hellespont, Phrygia. Phrygia. Yeah, we'll use that. Okay, whatever. In the meantime, off-screen, Darius is bringing a modest-sized army. I made some calculation errors on numbers of steps, etc., that could be moved by... I've got a dog rolling on its back here looking for attention. It's really funny. So if you can hear that, what are you doing in the background? I apologize. Anyway, Darius is now at what is called right near Tarsus, sitting behind the river in a port town called Melos. Anyway, east of, north of Syria and east of Salamis in Cyprus and the Cypriot island. So the interesting thing, though, was in Alexander's turn. There was a sequencing thing that I probably could have done better, and I paused the game and did things. But in essence, Parmenion moved to attack this Memnon's force that was disrupted, had recovered, paid the 15 movement points to recover that, because now as I think about it, that all happened in the May turn, and in June he paid the movement points to recover, and then just sat tight in that city, looking to be an annoying flanking piece here, and also to block the road, or not road, but pathways eastward into Greater Phrygia. So Parmenion's forces rolled up, boldly just said, you know what, we're assaulting 1-to-1, rolled a 10 like a boss, everybody dies. So that takes out Memnon, who happened to have 3 other leaders with him, and 15, I believe it was, 15 stacking points of forces, maybe 16. Boom, dead. Thanks for playing. Now, Parmenion did not sack that city. And nor did they garrison it, because I'm looking to move a force from here that will garrison it. In fact, I've got some guys here that will do some garrisoning. Probably move him up there to drop forces off. But anyway, and I need to revisit the rules on garrisoning to see how many of the cities need to be garrisoned. Is it just the capital? Blah 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 blah. All right, so Parmenion moved in, and they just moved deeper into the wilderness here. Called for the surrender of this city, and it did. Lydia, Hellespont, Phrygia is now fully controlled by the Greeks, by the Macedonian coalition. So then it was time for Alexander to do his groovy thing. So he had sieged the city in the prior turn. We had to go through some machinations to get the supply stuff right. I was struggling with a few issues there mentally, a little distracted and not paying attention per se, but nevertheless, we sieged and we did something. What did we do? During the siege cycle, we created a breach, which then allowed Alexander to assault, and he took the city and sacked it, plundered, not plundered it, but sacked it. So took the talents, captured the supply that was there, and generally had a fine old time with himself and thought, jolly good, time to move on, time's a wasting. So boom, down to here. We bypassed this city, Ephesus, and now we have just landed outside of Halicarnassus, Nasos, however you like to pronounce that, right there. So Alexander's army is here right now. And I've used something in the order of 11 movement points. I'd have to recount because I think I bumped the movement tracker when I was jacking around with armies doing this combat up here. So, but I believe I'm somewhere in the range of 11 or 12 movement points. Did the supply, and I've got both armies here moving as two separate columns. So we're doing that little handy dandy little hack there to keep keep us from depleting this area. We actually depleted Lydia when we had to do the supply the prior turn. Made life a little difficult. Nevertheless, sacked here and under our control, both now pro-Macedonian locations. I then moved these chappies up to here, dropped off a garrison force here, and I really am I've paused this guy here, wondering whether or not we send him up to here or we make some other arrangement to get people where they need to be. But I feel like I need to be following closely on the heels of Alexander so I can drop off leaders as we go, etc., etc. So that's really, in essence, all that happened in the turn. We had a vicious assault. We had another assault here, and then a little bit of movement. And it's June, and we have wiped out. Here's what's interesting. Did I put them back in the bucket? I think I did. Yeah. We've killed either 4 or 6 leaders from the Persian army. They go, do they go back in the bucket? I don't think they do. No, I'm going to need to pull them out. So important note to make. Fingers crossed, I'll remember that. Killed those leaders. So that's, relatively high quality, but nevertheless just bodies that can't be used to move forces around, shuttle bits to and fro. Right now, Darius has one small army here, a leader here, and a very small army here, and then Darius has got a force here. That's where the court is. It's looking kind of scary, and I'm wondering if it might not be wise for the Persians to start just destroying these areas. They're denuding them of food. You can scorched earth the provinces. Doesn't help politically, but that might be a way to slow Alexander down a little bit. But I'm also just wondering where the money is going to come from for Darius to rebuild, because he is down in the low 20s on cash, and that's a problem as well. Meanwhile, morale-wise, which is another key track here, morale-wise, the Persians are down to 42 from, I believe, 50, and the Macedonians are up to 55. Now I do need to check, because I would have thought there would have been some bonus to morale for a successful assault, but an assault may not count as a battle, and I'd be curious to know if that needs to be factored in, because if it is, there's two more battles that would need to be accounted for and given morale bonuses and decrements to each side as they occurred. I'm going to check in with Fabrizio on that and see if I can muddle that out and look at what the definitions of battles are, because I think it's only on the open field, but but I need to confirm that. So I need to confirm that. I need to confirm garrisoning, make sure we're doing that right, and we'll carry on. It's look, this, once you start getting like anything, right? Get the mechanics down a little bit, things start to move pretty quickly, and there's a lot of steps in here you can skip because you're not doing some of these things like taxation and maintenance and all the rest of it. And if you're not going to do bribery, you can skip that. Revolts, etc. Some of them are deliberately triggered by one side or the other, so you may not have to do those. So you can get straight to the meat, which is the move, fight, die stage of the battles of the gameplay, and kind of go forward from there. All right, we'll keep going. I think we're about to work out what to do with Alexander here, whether he shall continue to, he might try and set himself up to siege next turn, or he may split his forces up, move one army down here and leave one army to siege or potentially assault whatever is in Halicarnassus. Halicarnassus. Do that as well. He could do that as well. There's a lot of choices here. So, all right. All the best. Talk to you soon. Ciao.